Sup, fuckers? Welcome back to the now titled Grand Lineup Podcast. I'm Tom.
I'm Theo.
And I'm Gabe.
And we're going to talk about Volume 2 of One Piece. Now, last week, we didn't really talk about Volume 1 in too much depth. We just kind of chatted shit instead. But this time we've decided to kind of frame it into volume by volume time. So for this podcast, we're going to talk about Volume 2, which is called Buggy the Clown. So the first chapter in this is the one where Nami has just been introduced, and they run away from the Buggy Pirates. And Nami has this map from Buggy, and she's like, "Oh, I'll join up with Luffy to get the treasure." But then Luffy mentions that he's a pirate, and Nami hates pirates for no particular reason at all. And she basically betrays Luffy and takes him to Buggy the Clown. And that's the end of chapter 9. So we have the introduction of our fucking wonderful, wonderful clown man. Gabe, what do you think about Buggy so far?
I think at this point, with only just having met Buggy, I didn't really know what to think of him. I thought, oh, he's at least a good... Like, looking back, I'm thinking, oh, he's a good precedent for the amount of, like, really wacky antagonists that we're going to see.
He is a true fucker.
Yeah.
I think he's really menacing at the beginning, despite being like he's a clown. He's like the first real villain of the series, and he's actually a clown.
Yeah,
I know that's what you pointed out when we first saw Buggy, that it is apt that the first adversary is literally a clown.
Yeah, it's like we've got a long way to go, and the first guy is not gonna hold a candle to anyone else going on. So it's like actual clown shoes.
Thinking about it now, I don't know whether having a clown as the first bad guy would be a reference to the Joker. But maybe that's just me.
I mean,
drawing parallels. I
think there's maybe some Batman thinking going into Buggy the Clown, but I mean,
clowns are always creepy.
Yeah, I think really like they maybe just kind of based on the same clown spooky framework.
I just kind of thought, ooh, the Joker's all menacing and one of Batman's long-time enemies, and then so our first clown villain is a complete joke when it comes to some of the other people you folks are going to meet.
I think it's interesting with Buggy how he's kind of like the polar opposite to Luffy. Like his view on treasure is that you can't, like, the only thing that is important is money and like gold and jewels and stuff. And then also his devil fruit is like the complete opposite of Luffy's as well. Luffy's like immune to blunt force trauma, and Buggy's immune to being cut.
Yeah,
and they both have that as like their weakness. The other one, it's cool. Buggy is the greatest character in all of fiction, and chapter 10 is called "The Incident at the Bar," which is the one where Luffy's in a cage and Buggy is like, "You want to join my crew, huh? Kill this man with the buggy ball."
Which I never thought that made sense, because the cage, Luffy could clearly like stretch to a point where he could slip between the bars.
Yeah, I've seen Fantastic Four 2.
So
that scene is disgusting, but I believe that Luffy could get out of that cage for sure.
It made me think that it's not that he can't. He's choosing not to. He doesn't care that he's been captured. He doesn't care that he's in the cage.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I'm pretty
Luffy
sure he
care.
does get the explosion does go off in his face, right? I think it does. I can't remember.
Luffy's just sat here relying on the power of friendship.
Yeah, and luckily his friends arrive. She's saved by Zoro, and then Zoro Buggy just cuts Buggy in half.
Maybe it's the fact that he wants Nami to join his crew. She's a bit hesitant.
Yeah.
So he's almost putting himself in a fake situation of needing to be saved or needing someone there for him.
Yeah, maybe. I never thought about it that way.
Kind of forcing her to take the initiative
Yeah.
and show her own loyalty. Yeah. So yeah, there's a horrifying moment where Zoro cuts Buggy in half, and it's like, oh my god. But then the next chapter, Buggy stabs him in the back. Stabs him.
Which is the greatest insult to a swordsman.
Yeah, it is. That's
Yeah.
true. That is actually maybe a scar on Zoro's back.
Yeah.
Shit.
Buggy succeeded where Mihawk couldn't.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Buggy fucks with the hat and stabs Zoro
Yeah.
in the back.
They needed to go all out, do something big with their first major villain.
Yeah. He takes some serious W's against the Straw Hats.
Yeah.
But so he stabs Zoro and reveals that he is a man who can split himself into as many pieces as he wants.
Now, this is always where I want to, as soon as New Devil Fruit Power comes up, I want to constantly dissect it.
Yeah,
Just like you could dissect Buggy and he'd be fine with it.
brilliant.
How little are the pieces? Can he split himself per atom?
I think so.
Because I love that. That's really cool.
I think he would be.
He can turn himself into dust, basically.
a truly unstoppable force.
Buggy can single-handedly split the atom. You heard it here first.
I just don't
yeah.
think he's realised that yet.
And he picks a guy up with his hand
Yeah.
while it's not connected.
Yeah.
So what does that even
You
mean?
can control each individual part
Yeah.
separately.
And they levitate as well.
Yeah.
Buggy's fruit
He can just fly.
is actually wild.
Which led to some really creepy imagery of his torso, just his torso with the swords flying towards. That I love. That's
Yeah.
really creepy,
he is,
especially with the clown face heading straight
Yeah,
towards
he
them.
really
Yeah.
actually is a bit of a horror film monster.
He'd be a really good horror film monster.
Yeah. He would be a really good horror film monster. I want to see a live action Buggy movie where
Oh, dear.
he's the only One Piece character there, and the rest, it's just a bunch of.
And the rest are played by Muppets.
Oh my god!
He would be a really good horror film character, scary. But this is in One Piece. He's only the first
He's
person.
a clown, yeah.
He's only the first person in One Piece. There's so much more to come. Yet he could be a standalone thing on his own.
Yeah.
I do feel like that is the way in a lot of mangas that if you were to sort of isolate these characters and put them in different settings, they could be terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's very true. But all the Muppets go up to a spooky cabin in the mountains, and Buggy the Clown is there. Yeah.
Dimly lit, face down, darkness. Really creepy.
Mm.
And he's pretty much he's got a similar power to Luffy's, where Luffy has the range. Luffy could hold a sword and stretch out and stab someone from range,
Yeah.
whereas Buggy can fire off his hand
Yeah.
at range and get someone. So they both have the range aspect in a fight.
Buggy's like Rayman.
Yeah,
The fuck?
he is. He
He
could be
is.
be a great Ray-Ban cosplayer.
Yeah, I never considered that. Shall we return back
Yeah.
on topic to the next? I think, where did we get to? Zoro picks up Luffy's cage and walks
Yeah.
away with it.
Runs off.
And then the next chapter's called Dog. And then that's when they meet the dog.
It's just called Dog.
Yeah, it's just called Dog.
That dog.
That dog, yeah. What a baller. Eh?
I think that's the first, big emotional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beating got
Like,
you.
when we meet the good boy.
It's like they're plucking on every heartstring here.
Yeah.
They're playing all the right notes. And I'm like, it's just this dog that I've only just met. How are you making me feel so much for this dog?
Yeah.
There's the good boy.
Yeah.
He's a great
He's a
little
very
lad,
good
isn't
boy.
he? So his whole story is about how his owner is dead, but he wants to protect the shop because it's
Yeah.
like it's just that's his treasure. Like that was what he worked to build and stuff, and it's like, and then that's contrasted with Buggy and his view on treasure and stuff.
There is also a true story about that, where this dog, I think it might have been like Japan, where he would wait at the train station for his owner when he came home from work every day.
Yeah.
But then after his owner died, he would still be there waiting every day at the train
Hachi,
station.
the name of the dog. I
Maybe.
think.
Hachi.
I think that was the name
Okay.
of the dog.
Interesting.
I remember it got made into a film. That made me cry
Yeah.
my eyes out.
Oh,
Si-
shit.
definitely
Little
similar
lad.
vibes.
Yeah, there might have been
Yeah.
some inspiration from that then. But then we get a different kind of dog because there's whatever the fuck the big lion thing is.
Beastmasters.
I hesitate to call it a cat, but it's more like a fuck nose, man.
A mammal.
It's got a weird face.
A mammal? I think that's
A mammal.
correct.
Yeah, probably.
Dogs and cats are both mammals.
It's, well, he calls him Richie.
Richie,
Yeah. His name is Moji and Richie.
which also ties into Bucky's pirates liking treasure.
Yeah.
Calling them Richie.
Richie. And then, then they beat up the little dog. And then they burn down the shop.
Yeah.
And then Luffy just comes back and is furious.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like absolutely demolishes them.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think, is this one of the first times we've seen Luffy actually angry rather than
Yeah,
Just
just sort
happy
of-
to beat someone up.
He didn't
yeah,
really
just
show
like,
it.
wow, this is a really cool challenge. And then
Yeah.
here, he's just like, I'm gonna fucking destroy
This is
you.
the
Yeah.
first time anything pisses Luffy
It's when
off.
we see
pretty
the
much.
angry face.
Yeah. The mean face. The nasty eyebrow Luffy. And then so then the whole theme of treasure is further explored with the guy in the next chapter. So there's a really weird looking mayor guy called Boodle, and he's like, I'm gonna give my life to protect this whole city.
Which, good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Really good moment.
Except except the rest of the town are like, dude, you're not gonna beat this man.
You're gonna
And he's
be
like,
dead.
Yeah, you're not gonna solo. You are a regular man. You will not just like 1v everyone. Buggy's crew, and they're like actual fucking weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
They're just bringing around with them.
I suppose buggy bombs are similar to like nukes.
Maybe. I mean,
Because they're just like bigger explosives.
yeah, they're just really big. You don't want to be a civilian in the range of that. But yeah, Luffy he just comes up and he's like, I'm gonna fight Buggy. I'm gonna fight the Buggy pirates. And then Luffy takes his head and just presses it into a wall. And then he knocks him out.
It's like, no, this is my fight.
Yeah, but
Smash.
he's just like, you will die, I will not.
Again,
With the Messiah, like,
stop your speech and your blubbering. This is my moment.
basically, yeah. He's like, no, I will fight this clan.
The Luffy's just an attention grabber.
Yeah.
He wants to steal the spotlight
Get out
from
of
this
the
man.
Spotlight, Luffy.
Luffy's
Gosh.
like, no, this is my light. My time to shine. Not yours.
Every time. What a rude dude. The next,
I hate him.
yeah, I hate Luffy. We all hate Luffy here. This is the
I
fucking
will-
Luffy hate brigade.
I will not stand for this level of
He won't even choke him out.
slander
All right.
against Luffy.
Usopp hater.
Oh, I can't believe you said that.
Which one's the next chapter?
The next chapter's called Gong. And
Gong.
Gong. Luffy and Zoro confront Buggy. Luffy does the balloon. He inhales many in the air and then does the big reflex. I think that's all that happens in that chapter, pretty much.
Where does the bomb land? Does it just go back and hit?
Yeah, it just goes back to Buggy.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to expect someone that can reflect your shit back at you, but like.
Yeah, they wouldn't have been expecting it.
Yeah.
They thought he would have been deaded.
Yeah.
Even though they tried firing one at him before. And that didn't
just
work.
didn't work, yeah. Kabaji attacks. Okay, Kabaji, who is named after cabbage, I assume.
Just has really smelly farts.
Yeah, and rides on a unicycle all the time.
Oh, yeah.
A unicycle farting bandit that just whizzes past you and leaves a stink. You
Yeah.
can't catch him because he's already off. He fights Zoro and tries to be like, he's like tries to fight dirty basically.
Yeah, I remember I was genuinely a little worried in that fight. Because he seemed to have some sort of confidence with the sword.
Yeah, and then Zoro stabs himself, and then it's like, now I'm gonna win, and then he wins in the next chapter.
Zoro stabs himself.
Yeah, Zoro stabs himself. He like cuts there. Ooh, I know, right? But like, ooh, like badass.
Yeah. I can defeat you even if I injure myself.
And he's just like
Locks one arm off and
like,
goes, I can still beat you.
This ain't shit. He's not the Black Knight.
Just put a flash wound.
Just a scratch.
and then, yeah, that's this. We're coming on to chapter 17, which is the last one of the volume. It's called Character. It's when Nami goes to steal the treasure. She's betraying the buggy pirates while Zoro beats Kabaji. And then Luffy confronts Buggy, who mentions Shanks somehow, probably because of the straw hat.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, what? How did this clown guy know the guy with the red hair?
So this is where I started to like Nami a bit more. Because she was introduced as a new character, and she's like, oh, who's this new person? What are my thoughts on it? I haven't really based anything, like, set anything in stone.
Yeah.
But then, when you see her, like, side with like, the Bucky Pirates, and you see her as a bit of a trickster, and when she runs off and goes steal treasure, you see her, like, agility and craftiness, and that's where I started having a bit more affection towards her. Well, not affection, but in a character way.
Yeah, it's easy for like the action-based characters to kind of like rise to the top really quickly, but I feel like you need a bit more setup for the other characters to shine.
Sneaky.
Sneaky. Yeah. Like I generally really liked Nami anyway. Just thought, ooh, she's like the last time she's got a lot of personality to her and a lot of character. And this kind of cemented that for me. So I thought, yeah, she's got a really good head on her shoulders, and she's very much out for herself. But I don't mind that because I really like independent female characters in fiction.
She's great. She's a really strong female lead for the whole series, I think.
And even like the fact that she can, obviously, whereas, as you say, Luffy and Zoro's competence is more in their fighting abilities, whereas Nami is able to just completely outfox the Buggy Pirates.
Yeah. She's quick on her feet and quick thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell yeah. Well, that's every chapter in Volume 2, Buggy the Clown. Wow. What a wild ride.
Nami adds a bit of intelligence to the
brute
force, like fighting ability of Luffy and Zoro.
Luffy
absolutely.
Luffy seems to be himbo personified. And Zoro is very much like, yes, I am a swordsman, and my goal is to become the best swordsman. And now he's like, okay,
Yeah,
sick.
Luffy, Zoro sort of like offsets Luffy very well
Yeah.
in terms of he knows stuff with swords, and they're very well like connected in terms of they're very similar personality-wise. They're a bit like same intelligence level, bit dumb, bit stupid.
My last 2 brain cells.
Yeah, Nami really works well with that.
Yeah.
In terms of having a bit more intelligence. She can
100%.
come up with the plans. Luffy's the captain. Zoro's like first mate, and that works really well.
Yeah.
She actually has the brains.
Yeah.
As I said, this is probably one of the best examples I've seen of like this sort of 3-man band kind of structure. Especially with like when you look at Luffy and Zoro as like this leader lancer pairing, and then you've got Nami as the smart one.
Yeah, they are a wonderful 3-man band. It's one of my favourite dynamics in the whole story, I think. Those 3. Are we going to fucking talk about Zoro and Sanji or what?
Well, we haven't quite got to Sanji yet.
That's true, but we already spoiled the Zoro versus Mihawk in the first podcast,
Yeah,
so we're going to break the framework now and talk about Zoro and Sanji. I mean, Gabe's only had like 5 chapters worth of Sanji.
Minimal experience of Sanji.
More to come.
More to come on Gabe's opinion of Sanji.
I did have an instant affinity towards him, though.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. I thought that you would like him.
Yeah.
He's like, well,
You guys' backstory yet?
he's just
Yeah.
okay. He's just Mr. Controversial, man.
Why is it controversial?
Because he's a man of many extremes.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a man of extremes. I know we've talked about this, where the Zoro, he has a lot of epic moments, and they're a lot higher than Sanji's, but it's a smaller range, so he's like better overall, whereas Sanji's both like really good and awful.
Yeah. So he tends to have
He can be
lower lows and kind of maybe like it depends.
similar
what you're
highs.
after,
I'd say
but,
similar highs, but lower lows.
Yeah.
But I personally like the highs of Sanji.
If
more than the highs
you're
of Zoro.
into the brainy side of it, then I think like.
Yeah, he's also another more intelligent one.
But yeah. Anyway, Gabe's had 5 chapters of Sanji, and we can't talk about Sanji.
Yeah.
I apologise for bringing up Zoro and Sanji.
Annoyingly.
He's just desperate to get that watch time up because we finished the volume now.
Well, we can have a little discussion.
Yeah, we can. I think the Buggy arc. It was never going to be the most memorable.
No.
It did a really good job with Buggy.
Yeah, it was a nice introduction. Well, we've had the introduction. It was a nice first outing for the crew, which I'm putting in air quotes. Because I always find it funny at the beginning how like Luffy literally just sailing on out on his own, and he says to Zoro, "Join my crew."
Yeah.
Who's your crew? Me. he says to Nami, join my crew. Who's your crew? Just us two. Which I love that. I am my whole crew. Join me.
Yeah, I mean that's how it starts, right?
Which I think is usually unusual. Usually unusual.
Yeah, for sure, man.
But hey, Luffy's never been one for doing things the normal way. He's always got to come out left field.
He's always got to do some fucking random ass stupid bullshit that doesn't make any sense. This post was made by the Luffy Hate Brigade.
Yeah, I forgot we were that this episode.
We're not the grand lineup anymore. We're the grand Luffy Hate Brigade. Fuck.
I'm gonna distance myself from the Luffy Hate Brigade.
Why? Why wouldn't you want to be involved in an organisation with hate in the name?
He's obviously the most hateable character.
Obviously, you folks can't see me. I'm like on the opposite side of the room to Tom and Theo at this point, so...
I suppose it is, we're both facing towards you.
Yeah, I'm literally there like, okay, let me physically distance myself. Okay. I'll get the barge past pole out.
Oh no, not the barge pole. No, just join us in the Luffy Hate Brigade.
No.
Well, I guess we'll leave you with that thrilling conclusion, guys. Will Gabe join the Luffy Hate Brigade? Will we ever speak of this again? Hopefully not.
Find out next time. Same Luffy time. Same Luffy place.
Oh my god.
We've been the Luffy Hate Brigade and Gabe.
And Gabe. Featuring Gabe.
Yeah. Peace out, guys.